Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday here at the Breakfast Club, and I am your host, Sister Danger. Tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about harassment slash street harassment, I guess. I was at a Samhain celebration over the weekend, and after the evening's festivities were done, we had gone out to Denny's. It was quite late to go get a drink. And as we approached the door of the Denny's, I was walking with one of the other gals, and there was this cluster of dudes hanging around out on the side smoking. And man, they had to have been hammered because they were just rowdy dudes. And, as we went by, they kind of started to, make comments or whatever towards us. And she put her head down, she was on the outside of me, so I was between her and them, and she kind of put her head down and grumbled a little bit and, just walked straight on, and I just turned to all of them and I bid them good evening and continued to walk on and went into the restaurant, and, and they all said good evening when I said good evening in their drunken states, and so we went in, and that was the end of it. But it was her mannerisms in dealing with this situation that I thought it is so innocuous, because we're in the middle of a small downtown area. There's lights everywhere. The restaurant that is packed with all the people who are up late and, didn't have anywhere else to go are all right there. It was a completely non-threatening situation. And yet she seemed so uncomfortable by, just having drunken people make comments at her. And I thought, it was something that sort of stuck out in my mind, even though it wasn't anything that we, nothing came of that situation any further than that. So later on in the evening, just before closing time, a bunch of folks stepped outside for a smoke, and we are standing out there, and one of the girls starts talking to me, and we kind of get in this conversation about feminism, and, she talks about how she's, firmly second wave feminism or whatever. And she just starts asking me my opinions on various topics that often come up in feminism. But one of them was, she asked me what my opinion was on street harassment. Like, how do I feel about street harassment? And I guess kind of that question in combination with the short little scene that happened on the way into the Denny's, has tumbled around in my brain. And now you all get to hear the gemstones of my witty wit. So my response to the gal who asked me about street harassment was, I don't care. I really have, I can't imagine taking any serious time out of my day or my life to give a crap about somebody driving by and honking, or, hey, mamacita, or whatever they're gonna yell when they're driving by. So my thoughts here today are beginning first from the perspective of, I really don't care. Now, if somebody was to, come and get up in my face or in my personal space, that would be a different story, and I would definitely have different thoughts on that. One of the things that annoys me about the whole empowering women is that the things that I see do not seem empowering to me when I look at them, when we talk about, how, everybody needs to be shut down, and, don't talk to a chick you don't know, don't yell things at somebody you don't know, don't do this and don't do that, and all of these things are because it makes women uncomfortable. And I think about that and I'm like, that doesn't seem empowering to me in any way, shape, or form. I mean, that just seems like trying to have a safe space, a safe zone around yourself where you never have to potentially encounter something that might make you uncomfortable. Well, the real world doesn't function like that unless you literally have managed to maintain living in a bubble forever. the real world is filled with all kinds of people of all walks of life, all over the place, and you do not know what some of them are going to do or not going to do or whatever. And so I'm sort of the mindset that, it's best to have a lot of tools in your toolbox. I mean, I have been stranded alone outside in the middle of winter overnight in Paris with no place to go. And, had to kind of figure out like, well, oh crap, here I am. I'm a chick. I have no clue where I'm at, but I do know that I'm in a country that's, not particularly motivated to go find, I don't know, American tourists when they go missing. So I better figure something out, right? And I guess that, it bothers me that people might feel, women especially, might feel a concern for themselves walking down the street. And the only thing that they know to do is shove their hands in their pockets and tuck their head and walk on. Because that, to me, does not seem like a good response. So here are some of the things that I have learned in life or whatever over time. They're just small little things, but they sort of help to deal with the random stranger. And I don't know, they seem to work pretty okay for me, so hopefully they will work okay for other people. Number 1, stand up straight. When you are walking someplace and you don't have anybody with you, stand up straight. It gives you a presence of authority to do that. It is something that most other people don't even do. Watch people in your daily interactions, see how they compose themselves, and think about how you compose yourself. Try it. Just do it in a non-threatening situation. Try going out for the day and just going to the grocery store and standing up straight and watch how other people react to you. Think about how you feel about yourself when you are standing up straight and looking ahead straight. Because I think that the body language there communicates something to people that helps change the dynamic. When weird street people say things to you when you're walking by, assuming it's not, some kind of a just drive-by shout out the window, but, if you're walking by and certainly passing within a distance that might be somewhat uncomfortable, and they want to say something to you like, hey, hello, or they want to kind of run along beside you and try to get your attention because they're going to try to ask you for money or whatever it is that they're going to try to ask you for, and they say something to you, say something back. And when you do, look them right in the eye. Hey, can I ask you a question? No, I am on my way to a place. Thank you. And that situation is done. Don't shy away from people interacting with you. Be absolutely forward to them. Like you don't have to be aggressive. You only have to be solid. And it doesn't take very much to do that. When you just look at somebody, you are basically saying to them, I see and acknowledge you. And they know that and they register that, and it makes a difference with how they're about to deal with you. So, and if people greet you, say something to them. Say hello back, look at them in the eye and say that no, you don't have time to talk, whatever it is. Now, the last thing is something that I have always kind of said jokingly because for many, many years I rode the bus quite a lot. And, I've always kind of said jokingly, the way that you handle crazy people on the bus when they are weird and they like sit down next to you, whatever, you've got to remember, the crazy people on the bus never think that they are the crazy person, right? Consequently, if that crazy person, for any reason, somehow comes to think that you are crazier than they are, then they are going to be afraid of you the way that you are afraid of them. Because they're gonna look at you and go, Jesus Christ, that person is crazy. Yeah, man, I better change seats. I think I'll just get off the bus here at this next stop. Like, whoa, I don't know, that person might snap, right? All you have to do is keep a repertoire in your head of non sequitur, insane things to say that you blurt out to make yourself appear like maybe you might be a little bit unstable there on the bus. I'm telling you, that crazy person that you're actually worried about, they will move to a different part of the bus. They will get off the bus. They will leave you alone. I thought I would go onto Facebook and ask my friends, hey, what is the craziest thing that you have heard a person say on the bus, in order to sort of build this list of things that you guys can go ahead and take home as a takeaway from this video and say to crazy people on the bus. So I think that my favorite one was always one that I memorized from this little old lady who sat down next to me, and wow, she mumbled about all kinds of things. She was like 80 years old or 90 years old or something. I mean, she was like this little old lady, and she was just so mad. The bus pulled over and the thing, beep, 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 went down, and she got on there with her walker, and she was just like, rah, 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 and customer service on the bus, and nah. And if Eisenhower had run the war like Metro runs its bus system, we would have lost. And I thought, oh my God. Someday I'm just going to belt that out on the bus. If I need to, I'll just be like, you know what? Right? So, but I've never had to do that. Anyway, so I have compiled the list of crazy things that you can say on the bus to make the crazy person think you're crazier than they are. Here we go. So, friend number 1 says, a person sat next to them on the bus at some point and said that another passenger on the bus had a picture of a dead body on their phone, and they were using it to control her mind, and she needed to find out which passenger it was. Just imagine that one. Someone on this bus has a picture of a dead person on their phone. They're using it. They're using it to control my mind. I gotta figure out who it is. One time, a lady told me about how horrible animalistic men in the dental industry implant devices in people's heads that control them and make them fat. Conversation starters to stave off crazy people on the bus. I really don't want to spend Christmas in prison. A couple of people in Huntington Beach, California, both agreed that blue corn tortilla chips were the only thing you ever needed to eat. Nah, man, don't do meth. It's bad for you. You should do heroin. It's all natural. It's practically good for you. One time, a guy randomly screamed at me, "Why are you talking to me?" I remained silent and just shrugged. People in wheelchairs need to just get out of them. Either let Jesus heal you or go kill yourself. Either way, you people need to stop cluttering up things for the rest of us normal people. Nice shoes. Once in Reno, this old guy was sitting behind me for the whole bus ride and wouldn't leave me alone. You're so hot. Your nose is so hot. You've got the hottest nose. This is my son, pointing to the man sitting next to him. He thinks you're hot. He likes your nose. This guy was obsessed with talking about my nose. After I got off the bus, the younger man came up to me so apologetic, going, "I never said those things. I don't even know who that guy is. He isn't really my dad." Lady hops on the bus, completely breathless, like she had run several blocks to catch it, sits down next to me and leans her head on my shoulder and says, "I just love you so much." Want to smoke some crack? Hey, want to be our bull? Bull? You know, you do stuff with my girl and I watch. Oh, look, I stop. A 12-year-old white boy sat alone, staring down at a group of POC and whispering, "Die, just die, just die." Can you hold my lube? The cap fell off in my purse and it's gotten everywhere. Anyone see where I dropped my badge? A man started talking to me. I'm from down under. No obvious accent. Pause for effect. 6 feet under. I've wanted to use that line in a vampire game forever. All right, you guys. That is all that I have on my friends list for things that you can use to say to other crazy people on the bus to make them think that you're crazier than they are. If you had fun with today's video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. You can contribute on my Patreon if you like, and that will definitely help enable these videos. I will not see you guys again before Halloween, so I'm going to leave you with a fun little cosplay here in my Freddy Krueger sweater. I love this sweater. So have a good one, everybody, and I will see you all on the flip side.